All right, guys, it is Kelly Commentates coming back at you. We just had a awesome international competition, the Nebelhorn Trophy 2024, and today I'm going to give you my recap. We are going to have a fashion review, and we're also going to go over some of the best elements with some short clips from the different disciplines. So I'm super excited. You need to grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab your water, grab your wife, grab your kids, sit down, enjoy, listen to the review here, and then I want to hear your comments, your thoughts about it afterwards. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. We're going to start with the ladies' discipline. And just so you're aware, the Nebelhorn Trophy takes place in Deutschland or Germany in the city of Oberstdorf. Alrighty, so in first place, kind of a shock. The internet was abuzz. People were pressed, people were mad, people were angry that Elyce Lin-Gracey from the United States took it home first place and the gold medal here in Oberstdorf. I personally think that she earned this gold. I think she did great. I think her skating has really improved, and she got two personal best scores here and a personal best overall score of 213.33. She is, to date, the very highest U.S. women's figure skater for this season so far. So, this is a massive score for her and a job well done. Now, I could see the argument that the difference between first and third place shouldn't have been so great. I think Hana Yoshida from Japan, who took home bronze here, did an amazing job. We will get into our review of her, so I think there are some reasons why she was scored so much lower, but overall, the gap should have been a little bit closer. I do agree with that. My number one question, though, was why was I sleeping on Elyce Lin-Gracey for this long? I feel like I never really noticed her before this competition. I mean, I've heard her name. I know there was buzz and chatter that she was awarded the Skate America to be determined spot recently, and I know people were kind of debating that. Why did she get that position? Is she good enough for that spot? I think that she pretty much quieted all the haters with this competition. And if you had any doubt, I think now you know that she does have a lot of potential to be a great skater. I really thought her free program was surprising. You may know that her main coach is Tammy Gamble, who is pretty much known for like very pretty princess packaging, kind of an old school style. And she has been critiqued before that she gives her skaters too much of the samey, pretty princess package, Polly Pocket type of thing. And here, I think, her free program was actually kind of surprising. She wore a beautiful dress. It was a dark navy ombre, and it was kind of a Cleopatra type program. I found it pleasantly surprising. I thought it was really different and good. Also, she had a really unique combination of a triple flip, double axle, double toe. I'm so happy that the IJS recently, in the past couple seasons, they used to give a 10% deduction for non-triple triple or like triple toe combinations. So now skaters can do these kind of interesting combos like a triple flip, double axle, double toe, and they won't get that 10% deduction. They'll get the full base value, which I think is great and really adds to the sport and allows us to get some really interesting combinations. Also, you guys, have you ever seen Tammy Gamble so happy in the Kiss and Cry? I don't know if you watched the video of her in the Kiss and Cry, but she was crying harder than Elyce. I think Elyce was more just like, yeah, I won the competition. She seemed very happy, very excited, but Tammy was straight up crying. And those of you who are Tammy haters, please note that she now has an Olympic champion in her roster of Karen Chen. Karen Chen recently got her gold medal. She is an Olympic champion in the team event for figure skating from the Beijing Olympics. And the whole US team was awarded the medal this past, I think it was August at the Paris Olympics. So you can't really hate. I think Tammy was just happy. I think she was crying because she realizes we may get another gold medal in the future. So I really think that Elyce's ceiling is very high if she keeps her consistency. If I were to critique her and just give kind of some feedback, I think that she wasn't really giving face during the program. I think that something she needs to develop is her artistry and to really kind of project outwards to the audience. She feels very internal and almost like she was thinking quite a lot about the tech part of it, which is super important. She wouldn't have won without that. So I understand why she focuses on that. But I think to be a complete, well rounded skater, and if anyone wants to kind of vie with people like Kyoya Sakamoto or other Japanese skaters, you have everything. You have to be the full package skater. So I think that she could work on her projection and just finding her own artistry. I'm very excited to see where she goes. And then, not to sidetrack, but does anybody else think that USFS is gunning hard for the World Championships in 2025, which are going to be on home turf in Boston, Massachusetts? I just feel like they want at least two women on the podium. I have a feeling they're trying to get another world champion. It has been years since a US woman won the world championship. We haven't had a world champion. I want to say it's going to be at least 20 years in 2025 or maybe 19 years. I believe the last women's US champion, world champion, was 2006, I believe. I forgot her name, but she was a really good skater. So yeah, I think the US is gunning hard. I think that they really are trying to make a very competitive field for this coming Worlds. In second place, we have our Isabeau Levito with a score of 198.13. I think that Isabeau had the best overall package between the two programs for the entire women competition. One thing I want to bring up, everyone talks about it every time, is her jump technique. I think just seeing her jumps this time, they looked a lot cleaner than the last competition we saw her at. They looked a little bit higher in the air and a little bit more rotated. Now, obviously, she is getting these scores that are not as high as she's used to because of some rotational issues. And so the jumps are really important, but I do not agree with people who think that her jump technique needs to change. I think if she were to do that at this point, she'd have at least 2 seasons where she'd be trying to learn the new technique. And I just think it would be a little bit of a disaster. I don't know what Isabeau's like personal plans are and how long she wants to skate, but I think she should keep this technique and just work on building strength and just really just ride the wave as long as she can. I don't know if she would last beyond the 2026 Olympics. I think that's going to be up to her. We're going to review her fashion as well at the end, towards the end of the video. She had her short program to breakfast at Tiffany's. It was amazing. It was superb. I really, really liked that program on her. I like how she has the two different programs. And one thing that I really like is that even though her coach, who I believe also plans her packaging with her, gets a lot of criticism for, the same types of programs over and over, I tend to think that her programs are always very distinct. So whether you like them or not, I do think that they stand out, and I think she had really good programs at this competition. In third place from Japan, we have Hana Yoshida. She had a lovely triple axel in the free program. It looked like it may have been slightly under, possibly, but overall, really nice triple axel and very exciting that we have another woman with a triple axel. I really liked the costume you see here, which is the free program costume. It looks almost like space or space and time continuum, something like that. There are cutouts, and then I really liked the hair tied back with the multiple knots. I think it looked really cool and kind of different. When I was watching her programs, her jumps looked a little unsteady. It's almost like she was landing with her foot sideways, not necessarily under rotated. It was just almost the landing positions looked uncomfortable or not easy. So that is something that I'm wondering if she's working on, or if my perception of that is correct. I found her music very haunting in the free program. She's a very engaging skater. I think what Elyce lacks, Hana Yoshida has in spades, which is really projecting, I just find Hana Yoshida really exciting, and I am really excited to see what she does. I would love to see her rise. She also had a triple triple late in her program. She did scratch a Lutz jump at one point. She popped it. I think it was just a single Lutz. So that is one mistake that she would want to go ahead and try and improve during her next competitions. All right, here's our instant replay. We have a beautiful triple triple from the winner, Elyce Lin-Gracey. Huge triple Lutz, very Karen Chen vibes. Karen Chen had a big explosive triple Lutz. People are going to hate me for saying this, but it reminds me of Yuna Kim. Yes, I said it, and I don't care. I think that the explosion to the jump is really high. People made comments that she does that very long wraparound into her triple toe, and I know Karen Chen would also do that. So there's something about the technique that Tammy's students learn that does lend itself to that. So that is one thing that could be improved. But overall, beautiful triple triple, triple Lutz triple toe here. Here are the final scores for the women. In fourth place, we had Monet Chiba, and she got a season's best score of 193.37, so a good score. Livia Kaiser got a total of 191.24. And then 6 through 10, we have Kimi Rapond, Madeline Skizis, Yana Tirkanen, Sarah Maud Dupuis from Canada, and Olga Mikutina. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about the men. It was a pretty good competition for the men. The scores were quite a bit lower than what we saw from Lombardia Trophy. I think that, the men here were very good, and we had some great skates and some interesting details, but the scores were definitely a little bit lower than what we saw last week. In first place from Japan, we have Sota Yamamoto with a score of 262.72. He had a gorgeous quadruple Salchow, and he also got all positive grades of execution on his jumps and his elements, which is awesome. I found his long program costume here boring. I know it has the sparkle and stuff, but I really don't like when men's costumes have that severe cutoff line, like the short shirt. And then I do like the V-neck. I think it's interesting and different, but it just looks like a blouse. Like it just looks boring. I don't know. And then just simple black pants. I just feel like we see this costume a lot, so I did find it boring. I think that just looks wise, he gives Yuzuru Hanyu vibes, not necessarily in the quality of his skating. I think he's got a long way to go for that. But just something about the way he skates, he seems very confident. And I think that is what I feel is a comparison with Yuzuru. I think if Sota had more difficult tech content, he would be a lot more competitive. He is a very good skater, and I know there was a lot of buzz and chatter online that he won this competition. So I am very happy for him and very proud. In second place from Italy, we have Gabriele Frangipani, and this is a very exciting skater. He opened with a beautiful quadruple toe in his long program. Uh, Both his quadruple sow and his triple axel triple toe had negative grades of execution, and I found his costume really boring, but we will talk more about that. It will be really fun to see how he does since the Olympics are coming to his home country in Milano Cortina in 2026. So I think that will be very, very exciting. And in third place, this is actually a former winner of the Nebelhorn Trophy. We have Denis Valsievs from Latvia. I thought that his short program costume was very nice. He had cutouts, and it was kind of an 80s theme. Here we have his free program costume. One kind of bad thing is he didn't have any triple triples in the short program. I think it was a triple double that he did. And so obviously, if you want to be competitive, he got an okay score here, but I think that he definitely needs to not lose any points where he can. He did get a very high grade of execution on his triple axel. It was a very nice element. And one thing that I really noticed about this competition and kind of was just reflecting on the men's is that the quads used to be so unstable. I remember we would see just really bad falls. Like Daniel Samoin from Israel used to fall like crazy. It gave me vibes of Anna Pogorelaya, who used to fall just really hard falls where you're almost like, oh my God, did they dislocate their shoulder? But nowadays, it seems more normalized. The quads are a lot more stable. I don't see the men trying for quads that they can't really do. Now, of course, we see the mistakes here and there, but we don't see like the splat fest that I think we used to see. And so that is something exciting for the men's competition. And one thing that I thought was kind of funny is that the winners of the short program, so first, second, third, were 3, 2, 1 overall after the long program. So in the short program, Dennis was first, Gabriel was second, and Sota was third, and they all flipped spots. I guess Gabriela technically kept the same spot in second place, but basically Sota and Dennis switched spots after the long program. So I thought that was kind of funny. An honorable mention is Junha Cha. It was his first time at Nebelhorn. He's from South Korea. I noticed that he doubled a jump in the short program, and he had a beautiful quadruple sow and triple axel in the long program, but he really struggled with the other jumps. And I feel so bad for this skater because he really is the full package. He was even second in Worlds in 2023, but then he went down to 10th place in 2024 and really struggled in 4th place in this competition. But really nice to see him as a newer, he's not a new skater, but he's new to this competition. So that was really nice. Here we're going to do an instant replay from our winner, Sota Yamamoto. We have a beautiful quadruple toe, triple toe. I thought he was very upright in the air. There was a little bit of like wavering between not wavering, I would say he looked a little bit sideways in the air on the triple toe, and yet he landed just like a beautiful cat falling from a fence. Like he just landed perfectly on his feet, and I thought it was just beautiful combination here. So great job to him. All right, here are the final scores. In 5th place, Roman Sadovsky from Canada. 6th place, Edward Appleby from Great Britain. Mark Gorodnitsky. And 7th place. 8th place, Lev Vinokur. 9th place, Andrew Torgashev from the US. 10th place, Young Myung Ro from Korea. And in 11th place, we had another American skater. The American men did not do so well in this competition, so hoping for better things moving forward. Let's go ahead and move on to the pairs. This was a phenomenal pairs competition. If during the last competition I was kind of bored and kind of scared for the future of pairs, to be honest, this competition I was like, bam! They just came out with a slam dunk with Hase and Volodin from Germany, winning in front of their home crowd, which is super exciting. And also their short program and their long program were personal bests for this team. So just like super congratulations to them. They had a beautiful side-by-side 3-jump combo in the free program. And then they had a really cool theme in the free program, which you can see their costumes here. It was like a day and night, good and bad, or light and dark theme. And I thought it was very, very interesting. They had a huge score of 218.44. Just for reference, if they would have gotten this score at this year's Worlds, this would have put them in 2nd place versus the 3rd place that they got. So they've actually improved their score since Worlds, which for the start of the season, I'm hoping that proves to be promising for them. In 2nd place, my personal favorites, the reigning world champions, Diana Stellato-Dudek and Maxime Deschamps. I loved both of their programs. I know people didn't like the music, I think, for the short program. I liked it. I liked both of them. I love how they challenge themselves. I find them interesting as pair skaters. I thought their free skate costumes and music were beautiful. It was very, very ice skater. The music was kind of like whale spotting or something, like we're listening for whales. It was very cool. And the main reason that Hase and Volodin won and beat them here by quite a bit is they really got better grades of execution, and their side-by-side jumps were a lot better too. I love Stellato and Deschamps' triple twist. It is gigantic. She basically reaches the rafters, which is awesome. And actually, for me, a surprising third from the US was Cam and O'Shea. They had a beautiful triple twist with amazing height. They had the highest grade of execution, second to only the winners, and by only negative 0.1. So basically, same score as Hase and Volodin, which is amazing. And I thought their costumes were very complementary to each other, but kind of boring. And overall, they did very well, but they did have falls on the triple Lutz throw and also the side by side triple sow. They both fell. They kind of fell in unison, which is sad, but it actually looked kind of good in a way. All right, let's go ahead and watch an instant replay here. These are our winners in Hase and Volodin with their side by side jumps. He lands a little bit earlier than her on the first jump, but then you have perfect unison here and a perfect ending. Like they literally are going right together with the double axel at the end. They keep nice and close, and even their arm movements are very similar. Just beautiful. They did awesome with this. I loved it. Here are the final scores. In fourth place, also from the US, we have Efimova and Mitrofanov. In fifth place, Pereira and Michaud. Sixth place, Vipinla and Digby from Great Britain. Seventh place, Chettinina and Wozniak. Eighth place, Roscher and Schuster from Deutschland. And in ninth place, Schaller and Mayer. 10th place, Riom and Hahn. All right, and one of my favorite disciplines, ice dance. In first place from Great Britain, we have Fear and Gibson. I thought that their rhythm dance costumes were kind of bland. These are their costumes here for the rhythm dance. I just think the colors don't pop at all. It's just boring. I don't like it. But I do love that it was very fun music. I love her big, huge ponytail. Her hair is so pretty, as is Lila Fear in general. Just a very beautiful skater and just physically beautiful as well. Makes her very aesthetic on the ice. I did not like their Halo slash Beyonce medley and the free dance. It just felt dated. I just didn't like it. I loved the red dress. It was so pretty, but the front was completely cut off, which I found weird. They had really big lifts. They had a beautiful move into their twizzles. I just thought I was like almost gasped when they did the twizzles because I wasn't expecting it. And they appear to move fast. I also think that they both have really good intensity. This is one team where like not one outshines the other. I feel like they both shine, and he matches her intensity perfectly. In second place with a good score of 197.51, we have Carrera and Ponomarenko. They did a really cool move, which was a choreographic slide as he lifted her over his head. I think she put her legs around his head. It was very cool, very innovative. Their free dance was to Carmen. At first, when I saw this costume from her, I did kind of get Sleeping Beauty, or Belle from Beauty and the Beast. But then I realized, okay, the roses really take it to Carmen. The arrangement was really nice, but I feel bad for them because even though they've done really well, they've only broken 200 internationally once, which is at Worlds this past season. So they've gone down a little bit here. I think the vehicle's okay. I believe they are being coached by a former Olympic champion, Scott Muir, I believe his name is. It is escaping me at the moment, but he's super famous and an amazing skater. And I think maybe they just need more time. But I do find them very good. In third place, also from the US, Zingas and Kolosnik with a score of 194.34. I found their free dance music kind of boring, but I was really happy here that they got their personal best scores, so I love to see that. And the music really did build. I thought the ending of the free dance was a lot better than the beginning. Their packaging, though, could also use some work. They're doing a similar colors palette, or just kind of the intensity of the color is really dull, and I don't feel that it matches the intensity of the music, especially as it builds up at the end. All right, I wanted to show you a brief clip here of Fear and Gibson. So this is why maybe the Twizzles are expected, but I don't know. At one minute they're kind of dancing together. She does kind of her own little twizzle next to him, and then the way it's timed with the music, it was just beautiful. I thought the Twizzles were amazing. I loved the entry into them. I loved how quick they looked. They look quick. Again, it's probably easier to tell in person. It's hard just watching from home. I don't know if they actually are quick, but they look to be and they appear to be. So great job to them. And in fourth place from Czech, we have Tashlerova and Tashler. Fifth place, Yoshida and Morita from Japan. Sixth place, Smart and Deek from España. I really, really want to see their scores rise. I don't think they've ever gotten above 180, and they got 170.05 here, but they are a newer team. Seventh place, Nosovitskaya and Nosovitsky. Eighth place, Simova and Aksenov. Ninth place, Pinchuk and Pogolarilev. And 10th place, Dozzi and Papetti from Italia. All right, we're going to go on to our fashion watch. If you don't think that fashion matters in figure skating, then you are not a fan of figure skating. It is so important. Let's start on the right. So we'll go with what I think are some fashion flops. On the top left, we have Hana Yoshida in her short program costume. Now, hear me out. I actually do like it. So personally, I do like it. However, I think that color of pink is a little bit juvenile. I don't think it really suits her. I don't like the strap on her right-hand side on our left. I know she probably has to have that since there's no sleeve on that side, but I would almost just do flesh color long sleeves because I don't like seeing the strap. I don't know if that makes sense. I do like her left side. Like, I like the long sleeve. I like the asymmetry, and I even like some of the detailing in the middle. So I don't hate it. I just think it needs some work. I don't think it's like the perfect vehicle for her costuming. On the right, top right and bottom right, we have Gabriele Fragapani. Both of his costumes suck. And that does not mean I'm not a fan of his skating. They are just so boring. It is literally a shirt and black pants for both programs and gloves. I don't know. I'm bored. This looks like something he could have worn during practice. It looks like a practice costume. Not even a costume. It just looks like a workout outfit. Do not like it. He needs help. Carolina Kostner, where are you? Help your compatriot now, please. And then in the right-hand side on the bottom left, again, I don't hate this costume. I like it. I especially like Lila Fear's dress. However, the front is completely removed. It's literally a bodysuit with no legs. I don't like it. There needs to be some fabric in the front. Even we could do like a high slit, but it's just open. What is this? What is this selling? What is this telling us? Is she going to the pool? And then he's fully covered in black, like an Amish man. No, I just do not like it. On the left, we have our fashion pluses, and we have Isabel Levito 2 times. I love both of her costumes. I love how different they are. I love how the costumes fit both of the programs perfectly. So it's Breakfast at Tiffany's at the bottom right-hand side. She had this beautiful design in the back. I love the black, and black can be kind of boring, but with the cutouts, and also she has like a necklace built into the dress and the gloves, it's just giving everything that I need in a figure skating program costume. I love it. And in the top left, she's wearing her costume. I love it as well, with a few critiques. So a lot of people complain that it's too top heavy and that there's too many crystals on the top. I personally disagree. I think it's perfect amount of crystals. I love the sheer sleeves that are kind of light pink. And the detailing, I love how it goes into that green color. It looks so mossy. She's giving like fairy vibes, like fairy core or cottage core, whatever it's called. And I love it. Now, my one critique, I want her waist cinched in more. It's a little bit cinched. Let's make it tighter. Like, come on. She does these crazy hard moves. Make it a little tighter. It needs to be cinched. I would either also make the skirt a little bit shorter, or what I would do is a little bit less bulky. I think she has a tendency to have a lot of like bustles to her skirts. And that might be intentional, maybe just to help build some volume. So I see why they do it, but I don't like how there's like triangles at the bottom of the dress line. So that's just me being super picky. In the right hand side, we have Diana Stellato and Maxime Deschamps. I love both their costumes this year. I love how it's sheer on his arms. I love her costume. The cut is perfect. I love the design. I love the intricacies, the embellishment of it. I love how dramatic they are. I just think it's like perfect. This is what I want in ice skating. I love it. And the bottom left, Junhwan Cha's costume, one of my favorite men's costumes of this season, maybe of the past few seasons. It's hard to tell in this picture, but there's like danglies all over it. So like when he moves, it is beautiful. I love this color of red. It's vibrant, but it's not like as red as Lila Fear's dress on the right hand side. I feel like his color of red is perfect. It's almost like a deep wine, but still fiery. It's so beautiful. I love the crystal embellishments on his right hand side as well. Just beautiful, chef's kiss. So definitely some wins and definitely some misses here with the fashion. But that is figure skating. My final thoughts. This was a very exciting competition. I'm so excited for figure skating. Like, who's with me? Who's ready? Who wants, like, who's booking their trip to Boston for the Worlds? I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to go. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But I just feel so excited for figure skating this year. I feel like, especially with the resurgence of the US women, they're kind of in alignment with the Japanese women. And I want to see a new world champion this year, y'all. Even if it's not an American, give me Kimi Rappan, give me a Korean woman, give me somebody new. Not that I don't love Kiori, I do, but it's just gotten kind of boring. Where it's like, let's give her some competition. Could we see an Amber Glenn? I don't know. I feel like the stars would have to align. I feel like there may need to be an apocalypse for that to happen, maybe, but I could see it. I really could. She's got the triple axel. She's been looking good. And then there's question marks. What's Alyssa Liu gonna do? Now I don't see her winning worlds, but I do see her making a big splash back on the scene. We have Sarah Everhart, starting to build her confidence, looking very, very good. There's just talent. And then obviously Isabel Lobito, never count her out. She was not doing good during the first part of the season last year. She went on to win silver at Worlds. So I do think when she needs to, she can put it together. So very, very exciting. I thought Fear and Gibson were really good. They had a strong showing at this competition. And I think Hase and Volodin in front of their home crowd, like, killed it. I love their costuming. I love the light and dark theme. I love the music. And I loved the great skating. So overall, an amazing competition. I thought it was very fun. Makes me excited for the season. Give me my pumpkin spice. Give me my cold brew. Give me everything. I want pumpkin bread, just whatever. And I want to watch figure skating. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. I truly love figure skating, and I hope that shines through. Over and out. This is Kelly Commentates.